As a parent that has taken my fair share of Disney cruises with friends and family, I can definitely say there is a decision or two that I would have made differently. Today, we're going to dive into the top 10 mistakes parents make on Disney Cruise Line. There are a surprising number of mistakes that parents can make, everything from not utilizing the services that they have on board, missing out on the youth clubs, understanding their dining, how that's going to relate to your day, to bedtime, making assumptions about the pools, and even setting expectations can make a huge difference into the overall feel and flow of your Disney cruise. That starts with utilizing the services on board. I think a lot of people are actually not aware that they have quite a few services available on board the ship. These are going to be first come, first serve. They have complimentary strollers at guest services. They have pack and play cribs that are available, and your stateroom host actually takes care of that for you, putting it up and down for you every day. Sometimes they have complimentary wagons at Castaway Key and at Lookout Key. They also have pureed vegetables that can be prepared at the main dining rooms and room service upon request. All of these are offered on a first come, first serve basis. To reserve the crib or make other special arrangements for your child, you want to sign in to the My Reservations, select special requests, and then fill out their special request form. And if you have things like food allergies or medical equipment requests, you're going to want to use their special services form. And if you need to bring your own baby food or formula on board, that's totally fine as well. Make sure it's in your carry-on item. It needs to be pre-packaged, unopened, and cannot require any food prep from the kitchen. A little pro tip for getting on board the ship as soon as possible: when it is time for your online check-in, do that exactly at midnight Eastern Standard Time, as soon as available. Select the earliest port arrival time that's available. That's usually around 11:30 or so. Then as soon as you get on board, go straight to guest services and see what they can help you out with as far as your requests. And actually, one other thing that they have that I don't think a lot of people know about is My Disney Cruise Adventure booklet. This is specifically designed for younger cruises. It's a 30-page printable booklet. It's got information on what they can expect when they're on board, fun activities that they can do beforehand, just to build up the excitement and the understanding of what a cruise really is and what the experience is going to be. The second huge mistake I see parents make all the time is assuming that the pools will not be crowded. And let me just tell you, I call these pools tiny human soup for a reason, because they are always full. Now, if using the pool is really important for you and your family, I do have a couple of tips. First of all, on embarkation day, when you will board the ship, get that earliest port arrival time that you can, and then make sure you have your swimsuits on underneath your clothes, or pack them in your carry-on, whatever works for you. But the point here is to get straight to that pool as soon as you get on board. If you've got the swimsuits already on, that's going to make it quicker and easier. We particularly like to do these slides on board. The aqueduct is one of our favorites. We always go there as soon as we get on board, do the slide, and then we'll go to lunch after that. Another good time that you can find sometimes an empty pool is going to be on port days. Most people are going to be out playing, so that leaves a little bit more room on the ship. Another huge mistake here is not realizing the ages. In order to use the pools, they must be 3 years of age or older, and they must be potty trained. They do have splash areas for the young children. These are designed for children under 3, and they do require swim diapers. Now, we're going to get into this in a minute, but your downtime is important as well. So when you get those free moments, make sure you check out the adult pool in the adult-only section, especially on the Magic, Wonder, Dream, and Fantasy. They have a whole section there that is adult only, and those adult only pools are a little larger than the pools on the newer ships. And one other pro tip for the pools: those decks get hot. Make sure you've got some flip-flops, water shoes, whatever works for you. Now, I've got to say, this one actually surprises me. A lot of parents actually miss out on the youth clubs. And one of the most important things that I don't want parents to forget, and one of the mistakes I see them making, is forgetting that these ships really are built for families. They have places where you can drop them off and they will have an incredible time. And then you and your significant other can hang out by the pool, enjoy a drink. It is built this way so that families can have the bonding family moments together, as well as relaxing and fun times as individuals. The point of a Disney cruise vacation is multifold. It is to get you on the ship with your family. You're going to have a lot of great bonding moments with your family on board the ship. But this is also your vacation, so you want to make sure sure you have fun and you want to make sure they have fun as well. The Oceaneers Club and Lab have so many fun activities. The Oceaneers Club and Lab is specifically for those tiny humans ages 3 through 10. There is so much fun stuff going on in these clubs. I am not even kidding. Watch for an open house, because then you can go check it out as well. Now, you might want to make sure and research the specific ship you will be on, because the activities and lands that are available are different from ship to ship. Some of the things they have, though, are going to be Star Wars Cargo Bay. They've got the Marvel Superhero Academy. They've got this really fun Toy Story area for the younger kiddos. They've got Fairy Tale Hall, Walt Disney Imagineering Lab. There is so much going on. Here's the thing though, you do need to register them. You can pre-register. We like to have absolutely everything that we can have ready before we get on the ship. But if you don't pre-register, don't worry. You can register them once you are on board. Upon boarding the ship on embarkation day, the parents and the tiny humans must check in at the front desk at Disney's Oceaneer Club or Disney's Oceaneer Lab. This is when you will complete the final paperwork, and the kiddos will receive a Disney Cruise Line Youth Activities wristband. This grants them access to both the Oceaneer Club and Lab. You can tour the facility when you're doing this. You can meet the counselors, learn more about their activities. They must be fully potty trained in order to be in the Oceaneer Club and Lab. And if you have one of those really tiny humans, they do have a nursery available. This is for ages 6 months to 3 years. Unless you are doing transatlantic Hawaii, the minimum age there is going to be 1 year old. Reservations can be made on a first come, first served basis during the open house on embarkation day or anytime throughout your cruise. Of course, I recommend getting there early for that, especially if you've got reservations that you're going to want nursery services for. The minimum reservation time is 1 hour, and there is a charge for the nursery. They are also going to have the Edge Youth Club for tweens and Vibe for teens. These clubs have so many activities going on. They are usually open late into the night. My biggest tip for the older ones is to make sure they're there the first night for icebreakers. This is when they really get to know everybody that's in that group and helps them to make friends. Disney provides these moments where you can hang out with your family all together and you can form these wonderful memories and bonds. But in the in-between time, you are still on vacation. Your kids should feel that way, and so should you. That's part of the reason that they have these different options for the kids, because they are all amazing for that special age group. And some people say that the youth clubs might even be cooler than some of the stuff they have for adults on board. Although I think they're all cool. Which brings me to number 4, your downtime. Your downtime is very important. Make sure you find it. Make sure you schedule it if you have to. This is your vacation. Of course you want to have a great time with the family, with your significant other. Especially if you are the one planning the trip, which I'm guessing you are since you're watching this video right now. You need to enjoy your vacation. Make sure you schedule in some downtime. Even if it's just watching Funnel Vision up on deck at night, you can take your tiny human up there with you. They can maybe cuddle up in your lap. We absolutely love watching a movie up on deck under the stars out in the middle of the ocean. It's really a beautiful, peaceful moment. And they've also got the really fun themed bars and lounges. There's always a piano bar that's going to have some music going. There's going to be a pub style bar with some games in it. Our very favorite thing to do is a game show that they have late at night. It is only one night of the cruise. You must be 18 and older to attend, and it's called Match Your Mate. Make sure you add that to your to-do list. And if you have snagged a moment of peace time and you're not quite sure where to go, if you don't have a veranda, head to deck 4. Those loungers are so peaceful. Number 5 mistake I see happen a lot is underestimating dinner and the stage shows. These are long. Dinner is an hour and a half. The stage show's about 45 minutes to an hour. You got to get there early to make sure you get a good seat. So this is a huge chunk of your evening. This is like a 3 to 4 hour window of your night. So this is a great opportunity to spend time with the tiny humans, unless they just don't want to leave the kids club, in which case enjoy an adults only dinner. But whatever you do, do not miss the stage shows. And I don't recommend skipping main dining either, although some people do that. It is a time where if those pools are really important for your family, there will be less traffic because people are at dinner or the stage show. So there's a couple of things that are really important to consider here with dinner. One is that you're going to need to pick early or late dining. If you don't choose, one will be assigned to you, so look into this. Early dining is typically about 5:45, late dining typically about 8:15. In general, those with the younger tiny humans go to early dining and those with the older go to late. That's just a generality. We prefer late dining. Here's the consideration. 1, it's an hour and a half. That's a little bit long for some people. 2, there is going to be some type of entertainment in a lot of the restaurants, which is fun, especially depending on what your tiny humans like. Depending on what ship you are on, they're going to have Tianas, Rapunzels, Arendelle, Marvel. They have Animation Magic and Animator's Palette. They have a lot going on in the dining rooms on most of the ships. That being said, the Dream and the Fantasy have the least amount of entertainment in their dining rooms. They actually don't even have a dining room that has entertainment per se, like Arendelle or Tiana. So if you're trying to decide what time you want for dinner, consider your time zone that you live in and the time zone that you're going to be sailing in, because that can give you a clue as to which might work better for your family. Now, they also used to have a program. This was called Dine and Play. This program was very popular pre-pandemic. They did not bring it back for quite a while post-pandemic. Just in the last month or so, I have seen that they have been testing this again on the Disney Fantasy. So I am hopeful that they will bring this to all of the ships soon. This is where your tiny humans will eat first when you get to dinner, and then a youth counselor will come and pick them up in the middle of the dinner service and take them back to the youth club to play. So you get to have the family environment and you get to have some adult time during dinner as well. If that's not available yet, another option is to ask your servers each evening to bring their food first if you have restless children. And actually, this brings me into number 6 and 7, because a number 6 mistake I see a lot is not setting the expectations with the kids before you get on the cruise ship, or even just at the beginning of every day. That's one thing I did learn early with my son when we were traveling. If I told him what to expect, it was a lot easier to go through the motions of change that comes about during a vacation. I would give him 10-minute warning when it's time to leave soon, let him know we're gonna eat, then we're gonna do this, then we're gonna go play here, just so that he knows kind of what to expect, because as we all know, tiny humans can be temperamental. They get tired. This is your vacation, so you want it to be fun. And I think setting expectations really does help with that. The My Adventure booklet, I think, is also a great way to help set expectations, because they learned what is going to happen while they're on the ship. Which takes me into number 7, and that's bedtime. Bedtime is a huge consideration for any vacation. Obviously, if you've got kids, that bedtime is huge because they might melt down, and we don't really want meltdown. So using the time zones to help you determine when to select your dinner is one aspect of that. But bedtime is definitely a very strong consideration. One of my biggest pieces of advice that I like to give out to parents taking their tiny humans on a cruise is, to be honest, I would throw bedtime out the window. I understand that on some level you want to keep them on their schedule, but you're paying a lot of money per hour to be on the cruise ship. If your tiny human happens to be a little bit tired the next day, at least you know they had a blast the day before. And that's not to say you should keep them up till 6 a.m. partying, of course. Obviously, you don't want to push them past their limits, but let them hang out and stay up. If they've got the energy, enjoy that special vacation time with them. And maybe just let them stay up as long as they are comfortably able to. And seeing a sleeping tiny human on a Disney cruise ship is totally normal. You're gonna see him in the stage shows, maybe on a chair on the deck, definitely in the dining room. And at the end of the day, you know your child best. That's just a piece of advice that I like to give out. Now, number 8 is really fun during the prep phase and when you're on the ship, and that is, I highly suggest to bring magnets to decorate the outside of your door. If you are looking into getting to know other people before you get on the ship, they are going to have Facebook groups that will have exchanges in these Facebook groups. They're Disney Cruiser led. Typically, there will be multiple activities that will be created within these cruise groups. Recipe exchanges, ornament exchanges, magnet exchanges, fish extenders, which is a gift exchange, pixie dusting, which is just dropping off little gifts at people's staterooms doors. Whatever you want to do with that, obviously, is for you and your family to decide, but I highly, highly suggest making some magnets and bringing those to decorate the outside of your door. It's a lot of fun. The tiny humans love it. It's an easy way to identify your door down those long hallways. And it's also really fun to have them on the refrigerator afterwards as just daily reminders of your cruise. Now, one of the mistakes I see parents make the most often is they bring just enough luggage for what they have packed for the trip. But nobody counts the fact that they're taking things home. Now, personally, I don't remember the last time I went on vacation and didn't buy something, so it's a really good idea to leave a little bit extra room for some of those things you might want to bring home. My suggestion is to bring an extra duffel bag, just stuff it in one of your suitcases, that way you've got a whole bag ready for souvenirs. Or, one of my favorite ones is to leave with your suitcase half empty. Now, that is kind of hard to achieve, I will admit. My suitcase is usually stuffed full. But when I can pull it off, leaving with your suitcase half empty makes it really easy to add any of those souvenirs and take them back home. And number 10 just builds off of that. You want to make sure that you've got space for everything you're taking with you. You also want to make sure that it's organized, quick and easy to find. The Disney cruise vacation goes by fast, most especially if you are on a 3 or 4 night cruise. I highly recommend unpacking the minute you can get access to your stateroom, because that's usually a little bit of a downtime and it's really nice to have that done. To facilitate this process, I suggest 3 things. 1, use packing cubes. That way you can take your things directly from the suitcase, put them right into the drawer, quick and easy. Inside those packing cubes, I also recommend using vacuum seal bags. We use vacuum seal bags where you can just press the air out of it with your body weight. I just lay on top of it, gets it nice and squished. I highly suggest packing those tiny humans outfits in these vacuum seal bags, either for the day, for the occasion. If you have a nice dress for dinner, put all of those things in one bag. You can just pull it out, tell them to put it on. Same for the beach. Have the swimsuit, shorts, whatever it is, you can just give them the bag, tell them to put it on. The third thing I really like to have here is a fold-up hamper, a pop-up hamper. They take up practically no room because they will fold up into your suitcase. Then just put them in the closet when you get on the ship. Throw all of your clothes in there when you're done. Stuff them back into those vacuum seals, squish them down. You can get them back into your suitcase, deal with the laundry when you get home. Now, you don't have to subscribe, but if you like these videos, please share them with a friend. I really appreciate it. We've actually reached 10,000 subscribers recently. Thank you all so much. And if you haven't seen it yet, go check out our most recent video on how to book the cheapest Disney cruise.